Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a book that's nearly 3,000 years old, but its voices, they feel like they could have been written yesterday. We're talking about the Book of Poetry, the very first collection of Chinese poems, and it holds some incredible secrets about expressing emotion that are just timeless.
I mean, just listen to that. That's not from some modern thriller. It's from a poem written thousands of years ago. That's the kind of raw, visceral power we're talking about here. It just goes to show you that these aren't some dusty old artifacts. They are living, breathing feelings that reach right across the millennia.
So, what exactly is the Book of Poetry? To really get why it's so powerful, we need to go back to the beginning.
Well, for starters, it's considered the absolute fountainhead of Chinese poetry. I mean, this is the earliest, most important anthology in the whole tradition. It was put together centuries before the Common Era, and it basically laid the groundwork for everything that came after.
The classic collection that's come down to us has 305 poems. But here's the thing you have to remember. These weren't just text on a page, nope. They were songs meant to be sung and performed.
Now, this collection isn't just a random jumble of songs. It's actually organized really thoughtfully into 3 main sections, and each one has its own unique vibe.
Okay, so first you have the hymns, which were these sacred songs for big court ceremonies. Then you get the elegentates, or odes, which are these grander poems all about state business, heroes, major battles. And then you have the airs. These were folk songs gathered from all over the different regions.
And honestly, it's these airs that really get to you. They make up more than half the book, and they capture the voices of regular people. They're singing about love and longing and work and heartbreak. It's these personal, intimate stories that feel so incredibly real and moving, even today. So how did these ancient poets pull it off? How did they create something with such a lasting emotional punch? Well, scholars have pinpointed 3 basic techniques. You could call them modes of presentation, that they used over and over again.
The first one is exposition, which is, just a straight-up description or story. The second is comparison, using a clear metaphor or simile. But the third one, known as the affective image, well, that one is the most sophisticated and you could argue the most powerful of them all.
And this technique is really the key that unlocks the subtle genius of this poetry. The affective image is where the natural world and human emotion just beautifully intertwine.
So what in the world is an affective image? It's so much more than just a pretty description of a landscape.
Okay, here's how it works. The poet starts the song with an image from nature. It could be a plant, an animal, the stars, whatever. But that image isn't just for decoration. It's there to create a very specific feeling. It sets an emotional tone that echoes and deepens our understanding of the human story that's about to unfold.
A fantastic example is a poem called The Peach Tree Tender. It's all about a young bride on her wedding day, and it shows this technique in action perfectly.
So on one side, the poet paints this picture of a vibrant peach tree. It's young, it's beautiful, and it's just full of the promise of fruit. And on the other side, you have the human subject, a young bride whose beauty and potential to start a family perfectly mirror that tree. And then the poem just comes right out and makes the connection. The qualities of the tree, its tenderness, its vibrant life, are directly linked to the bride. See, the image isn't just a simple comparison. It's almost like a blessing, a hope for a happy and fruitful future for her and her new family.
Okay, now let's check out a more complex example with the poem Little Stars. Here, the affective image is used to create a much more somber feeling. It's about life inside the palace, told from the perspective of the people who serve.
So in this poem, the natural image is of these faint little stars scattered across the sky right before dawn. And the human subjects? They're minor court officials or maybe ladies in waiting who are also scurrying around in the dark, rushing to get their tasks done before the sun comes up. See how brilliantly this works? The poem never says the servants are stars. It doesn't have to. Instead, that image of those tiny, distant, faint lights, it creates a feeling of being small, of being overlooked, of this endless, exhausting work in the vast darkness of the palace. The image creates the entire mood without ever saying it out loud. That's the magic of the affective image. So why? Why do these simple, ancient poems still hit so hard today? It's not just about clever poetic tricks. Well, part of the magic is in their structure.
Most of these poems use this steady four-word line. It creates this simple, almost hypnotic rhythm that is the perfect container for pure emotion. There's no fancy wordplay getting in the way. The feeling just comes through crystal clear. So really, that's the heart of it. These poets combine simple, direct language with incredibly sophisticated emotional tools like the affective image. And it's that combination, simple form, complex feeling, that makes this collection absolutely timeless.
In the end, these songs give us a remarkable window into the past. They preserve a vision of the core human experiences, of joy, duty, love, and loss, that feels just as real and just as powerful today as it must have 3,000 years ago.